I just want to touch on a couple of other things outside of the realm of the actual site, because most of you are familiar with Facebook in the sense that you trade pictures and follow your nephews and nieces and so forth, as I do. When I'm putting up a tweet or I'm putting up a Facebook post, as a business, if I can offer something, send them to a video, send them to a great article that I think they'd be interested in. You know, with my own particular company, I tweet as iMedia Trends, and what I do is I send out media trends. I have access to research that none of you would have access to. And so by me tweeting out or Facebooking, and I use both simultaneously, that information, you'd be surprised the number of people who will come and read those articles. Once they do, they're more inclined to do what? Friend me up, because they know they're going to get something there of value. One of the things that I like, well, first of all, the thing I like best is blogging. I've got about 4 blogs now. I'm trying to cut it down to 1, but I blog on a variety of things, and blogging helps me to, when I put up a new post, if it's particularly good, occasionally it is, I will Twitter and Facebook from my page a link to the blog post. And I will notice immediate response, almost immediately, within a couple of hours, 30, 40, 50 people will come in and read that blog post. Then what I look for in the metrics is how many of them come back and follow and read additional posts. Newsletters, I think, are great. Online newsletters are great. I did a consulting project down in Jacksonville, Florida, and I looked, and this company was spending about $25,000 to send out their newsletter. We went to an electronic newsletter, got rid of the $25,000, put the $25,000 in something else. Think about it, if you're spending that kind of money, you can almost hire somebody to do your Facebook and Twitter page for you, right? On what you'd save from that. Save postage and all of those other things. There's the blog thing. Ongoing opportunity to communicate. You can make it subscribable, you got to update it, and you make them feel kind of good about participating. I've got some other sites here that I just will mention very briefly. If you got a website, you should use some kind of analytic tool. You've got to be able to do some metrics, see what's happening. Google/analytics, go in, set it up, put your website, your blog, your whatever in there, and you can track how many people are coming, where they're coming from, what they're looking at on your site. Google/analytics. Quantcast, this is another one. Go to quantcast.com, put in your business, it'll tell you how it ranks, how it does. It'll tell you, if you quantify your website, actually put a little snippet of code in there, it'll actually tell you the age, sex, education of all of the people coming to your site. Isn't it great to know those kind of metrics? Quantcast.com. I use it almost every day. I mentioned the TweetDeck earlier. Don, do you use TweetDeck or something similar?
I tried to use TweetDeck for a while, and it comes down to controlling the fire hose of posts, and I actually just use the regular Twitter interface because I don't want to read every single post of the people I follow.
He's like old school.
I'm controlling the content. Control.
Am I doing all right on time? Another story.
3 more minutes, good?
Huh?
About 3?
3 minutes? God, the story's 5 minutes. I'm at the gym about a year and a half ago, and I got my Walkman. And I go into the locker room, and I'm getting undressed, and I set my Walkman down on the bench, and this like 99-year-old guy comes in, and he takes off his iPod Nano, and he sets it down. And me, I like to do a little what I call mother-in-law surveys, and I go, oh, is that one of them there iPods? And he goes, yeah, man, it's great. I got Sinatra on there, got polkas, got all sorts of And then he looks at me, and he looks down at my Walkman, and he looks up at me, and he goes, you're kind of old school, aren't you? Oh, there's a 90-some-year-old guy telling me I'm old school. I went home and told my wife, and she bought me an iPod for my birthday. The first day I got it, I loaded up 43 songs. Ask me how many songs are on it. 43. An hour and a half. Search.twitter.com, Twitter beat, Bitly. These are URL shortening devices. You only got 140 characters on Twitter, so you got to shorten stuff up. Twitter hat is one that Chuck introduced me to. It puts a little hat on your if I send you an article, it puts a little hat on top with a link to me. Isn't that cool?
Created right here in Columbus. Yeah. Created here in Columbus.
Created here in Columbus? I think I knew that. Twallow, is that, put a TW in front of anything is, as Don said, plumped classmates, there you go. Let me get past some of these here. Well, I did get past those. All right. A couple couple of just little, real quick things. I have 2 minutes now, or 1 minute? I have 2 minutes. I have 2 minutes. Farming. And I'm not talking about Farmville. I'm talking about farming. In my business, I do marketing consulting for radio, television, and newspapers. So there's only a few thousand of them in the geography that I want to cover, which is Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Pennsylvania, New York. So if I could get my hands on the email addresses of all of the relevant people, right, in that farm, if you will, and I begin to market to those people, and I tweet, and I get them to friend me up and so forth, I'm really adding to my influence those people that are really the important decision makers of who might do business with me. So that's good for me. One-off printing is another. Everybody in the room has read the book, The Long Tail. Right, The Long Tail. It's a different subject, but it's about how to extend your stuff, text messages, and so forth. As Tanya said, the slides will be up on the same website that you did, as if anybody would be interested. But remember, this is a conversation that we're having with people, and we have to respect it as a conversation, and that we have to listen and then engage, right? We have to get into the conversation and then engage. The best way to start with Facebook, set up your own personal profile, start using it. When you feel comfortable, click on add a page about your business. Once you've got a page about your business, use your friends to fund the page, then we're going to use their friends to build our influence, right? And the Twitter ads that I mentioned to you are not all that, the Facebook ads I mentioned, contextual ads and so forth, are not all that expensive. They do not replace traditional media. They don't. Don't say, I'm going to drop all my traditional media, I'm going to do this. You will not succeed. This is in addition to everything else you do. As a matter of fact, you can use this to drive your traditional media and vice versa. You can use your traditional media to send people to your accounts. In radio, for example, we use the radio stations to send people to the web, that gets them to the Twitter and the Facebook accounts, that gets them database that we can then begin to use them, right? Newspapers do the same thing. You'll see at the bottom, go here, right? They're using the traditional media to get you to the new media, using the new media to get you back. What I call it is a dual path approach, right? A dual path approach. If I had a piece of chalk at you, but you're going to go down 2 paths, right? Traditional media, new media, right? What's the old line? When you come to the fork in the road, take it. So we get to the fork in the road, new media, old media, we take it, right? We go both directions, even though traditional media will still have the biggest ROI currently. As Don said, how do you measure ROI on some of this stuff? But this definitely is the future, huh? 50% of what you learn your freshman year of college is obsolete by your junior year. Now, if you saw my bio, it says futurist. College will be obsolete in 10 years. I'll leave you with that thought. We have Q&A coming up here in just a bit. Thank you so much.